than what they would have got out from the gank assist of a Tahm Kench. So look to see on Fleek towards bottom side earlier rather than Showstopper into Shockwave. The Shopwave. No, that's not going to work. It's like a Black Friday deal or something like that. I don't know. But Afrika, I like their composition for the mid game. Plenty of poke and pick options. Even the Trundle able to offer the pillar for options like that is certainly going to help out. And as far as bottom lane control, Afrika should be all over it. I'm curious to see what the two priority picks from Sandbox are going to be able to get done, though. Set and Volibear definitely very high as far as the stonks here in the LCK meta are concerned.
They're blue chips.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just essentially able to get both of them for free. I mean, their bans were, let me take another look, Kalista, Zoe, Ashe. So they banned the Ashe into thinking that the first pick Volibear would come out and then they would take the Caitlyn alongside of a set most likely. But when the Caitlyn was first picked with the Ashe ban, they were like, well, I guess we'll just get the two big boys up in the top side.
Yeah, I actually think it was really intelligent drafting from Sandbox because Ashe has been so popular into the Caitlyn that you get rid of her. You also ban Ashe away from Mystic, which is great. Certainly a favorite pick of his, has been forever. So let's see how mid lane is going to go. Checking that one out first as some orbs are being put down here, there, and everywhere. Command attack comes down. We don't even see whether it lands. As Mystic and Ben will just continue trying to control this wave. Certainly what Caitlyn is very good at. Okay, we're just going to shield and look for some damage, but there's the dredge line that's going to land from Gorilla. Aftershock keeps him alive as well, but you saw Ben with his shield. He's absolutely fine by the looks of things as Mystic gets himself a decent headshot onto the center.
Yeah, Guardian Lux, the Rune Guardian, is it's pretty annoying at level 1, especially. You're very tanky. The follow-up from Senna is not there, so even if Gorilla lands a hook, you're going to be feeling just fine. And they are going to have that lane control. We were talking about how this is, you know, if they do go for some kind of Gorilla-esque melee support, like a Tahm Kench or a Nautilus, both lanes are not going to have fun if you're a melee support, so Gorilla's champion pool perhaps hurting them a little bit down there. I'm trying to look at what else he's got. Karma wasn't available. He's played 3 games of Thresh, but...
I mean, we all know that Gorilla's champion pool is pretty large, but I think that they require him to have some agency, especially as this game goes on, and I guess they're just sacrificing the bottom lane, not wanting that one to really even be a thing.
Yeah.
Headshot comes down after the cupcake is eaten there.
That's the real question. It's like, what do they value more, right? And as you were saying, I guess getting Gorilla onto an engaged champion was more important for them. As every time we look down here, it's not going to be a fun time, of course. We'll see if OnFleek wants to try to maneuver down there at all, because alongside of Nautilus, of course, they have huge amounts of lockdown, and even Root from Root on Senna. Get it? Yeah,
yeah, that was good. That was real clever.
Yeah. I was thinking about that one for like an hour during the breaks.
Yeah, I mean, we had a long break, so I was expecting some pretty good things.
Just really waiting for my moment to throw it out there.
I thought the execution was almost perfect. I'd give it a 93.
Thanks.
Out of 100.
It's higher than I was expecting.
You're welcome. You earned it. Flying Fate facing off. As you can see, CS basically even. Nothing really to worry about. Both of these champions pretty good at just laning in general, but Scatter the Weak does go wide and fly. Running out of mana here in this lane for the moment. Focused will connect.
Whoa.
Yeah, will.
Saw what you did there.
Will. That was unintentional and I thought sounded a bit stupid.
Look at this jungle path.
This is what we were expecting. That OnFleek would give some attention bottom lane, and as you can see, Mystic and Ben definitely very far up. That's a great binding onto Gorilla, but he misses the dredge line. Very unfortunate. Mystic is going to be the target, and he does have to flash. Ben still has both of his summoner spells. His Fate's dead in the mid lane. Spirit returns the favor in kind, and there's first blood.
Yeah, the fact that everything just totally missed was really unfortunate from the side of Sandbox. I think Gorilla, if he really wanted to 100% secure that kill, Probably some kind of flash exhaust play, like get in Caitlyn's face and maybe look for a passive into a hook, and then you've got Volibear right on top. But instead, he just went for the straight-up hook, and once that missed, it was very easy for Mystic to just run away, and he's got Lux helping with bindings and stuff like that. So eventually did have to flash and heal, but no kill came in, which is definitely unfortunate. But we'll see where Afrika were able to get their kill. As Fate went for the ward, and then gets zoned with the stun and the pillar.
That was actually very perplexing as to how that stun worked. Almost looked like the orb went down and missed, and then he still got stunned somehow. Quite strange. But never mind.
Yeah.
Still going to be able to grab that kill. As you can see, Fate's still able to shove here in this lane. Does have a 10 CS advantage as Fly didn't use his teleport to get back to lane. His lost chapter now complete. There's a teleport towards the bottom side. Mystic, no flash, remember. And there's the double face breaker summit. No! The dredge line is going to miss Ben, but Mystic is still dead. Not a chance that he's going to get anything done as the Sky Strike comes in. And OnFleek will grab that kill. But now Keen with some spare time towards the top lane.
Yeah, you see they're trying to help their bottom side, which is interesting. You know, they're trying to get a little bit of pressure taken off of them. They use the teleport and another gank to come in here, which is going to give, in turn, free farm over to the side of Keen. So it's kind of pick your poison. Do you want to shut down Mystic and get your bottom lane ahead? Or do you want to give Keen a bit of a better time in his own lane? And they decided to go for the teleport play. This also means that Afrika are going to pick up this first Mountain Drake, which is going to be pretty interesting. I mean, it's just one Mountain Drake. You see that a lot of their champions aren't necessarily tanks. They're going to build limited amounts of resistances and stuff like that, but might be able to get a little bit of extra help against this hard engage from the side of Sandbox.
Yeah, good dredge line lands this time. It looks like Gorilla's eye is in, but now doesn't have any more of that aftershock, and a teleport is going to come forward. Fly looking for the stun. Focus Will's going to do it, and that is a very dead Nautilus. Like you're saying, no flash, no chance of getting out. Facebreaker onto Keen here towards the top side. He's very close to his turret though, so he'll be absolutely fine, and no haymakers to come in here. OnFleek now struggling to fight against Spirit. Fly's going to get rooted, but he's just going to steal away the blue buff. Stun comes in.
Oh,
Fly somehow manages to get it. That smite timing was pretty amazing from Spirit.
That was incredible. That was really, really
nice.
No,
he didn't even use it. Never mind. That was OnFleek.
No, yeah.
Thank you, OnFleek.
Smite comes in and Fly just throws it out, and it was probably just off there by, I don't know, maybe it's been like 3 damage. Like, it was really close. I'm trying to remember like the different levels of damage of Smite. I think that 480 is one of them. Not 100% sure.
I'm just not sure
a
which
jungler
level
myself,
that is.
But yeah, we'll get a look here at this play. As you can see, huge commitment to set is teleporting, and Ben looks like that binding comes in, but it was a little bit too late, as Mystic absolutely dead. No chance for him to get out with no flash. Root's able to get back and get the wave, as then we see the follow-up here with the teleport play, as Gorilla doesn't have flash, so he's going really far down the lane when there's a ward in his brush, and he should know that the mid lane has teleport, but not factoring in every little thing. This is what I wanted to see.
Let's have a look at exactly how much damage it goes down to.
야 이거 내가 먹었다. 나이스.
Okay.
See, it was 486, right? And
yeah, so
I'm trying to figure out like what damage did the smite do.
And that was definitely OnFleek's smite, right? Like, it's no way that he's going to burst 600 damage at level 5 with only a lost chapter.
Yeah. Well, either way, the blue gets stolen. It's really nice to have that on the Syndra, because especially once you get some items, it allows you to just never-ending push, which is really annoying for an Orianna without blue, because you can see he rushed Merc Treads too, so he doesn't even have Lost Chapters. So that's going to take away a lot of his mana. The never-ending push advantage here, well, it is going to end eventually once the blue goes down. But for a while now, Fly is going to have a lot of priority here in this mid lane.
Hasn't necessarily shown in the CS just yet. Of course, Orianna just a pretty good farmer. And she clears out most of that wave. OnFleek thinking about coming in. But Fate doing a good job of just safely farming. Summit up here towards the top side, as you can see, retaining that 10 CS advantage up against Keen. Another Facebreaker comes in as we Shuriken backflip just onto a minion.
Yeah, this lane is, it looked like Summit was having fun early on, but since then, since Keen was given a little bit of a free push, he has been doing a bit better. You can see that Fate had to go back because he doesn't have any mana, and Fly is just sitting here with full mana in the mid lane. He's going to be able to push and then rotate for this play, as here comes the fight.
Yeah, OnFleek was lying in wait, though. Summit gets a big shield. Dawning Shadow comes down as well, but Keen gets the damage, and Spirit's going to grab the kill. Now OnFleek, he has to flash out, press the attack, fully stacked onto the Volley Bear, and he is donezo. Freaka winning a fight topside, and Keen getting an advantage is terrifying for Sandbox.
Yeah, it's definitely not the person you want to be picking up any extra gold. It was Spirit that got the 2 kills, or the 1 kill, I suppose, in that fight, but either way, some extra XP and gold going the way of Keen. Obviously, going to be feeling pretty good about that. He can deny some CS up on the top side right now with the push as well. So it's everything combined, and they didn't even need Syndra. So after all that, just a nice little 2v2 that does go the way of a free hit.
Yeah, Fly actually just chilling here in this lane. Not too worried, grabs all of the farm. We'll now move on over, looking for a back. See what he can actually purchase here as the 101 Syndra. But let's have a look at how this one went. I actually really liked the idea out of OnFleek, you know, Summit trying to bait this one out, moves the Akali over. But the pillar was so frustrating, and Keen just so mobile.
Yeah. It's interesting that they were trying to force that one if they had any idea that Spirit was nearby. But as you were mentioning, the bait was the tactic, but it didn't quite pay off in the end. So Spirit picks up that Rift Herald. We'll have to see where he wants to drop it down. Do you want to try to open up that bottom side where you've been pushing and you've already got 1 plate, or do you want to give that extra gold over to Keen, who has also picked up 1 plate? I think I'd choose Keen.
Yeah, I agree. Cloud Drake now going to be started here by Sandbox. Not exactly the greatest prize here in this game, but I'll take what they can get. Ocean Soul going to be the final Drake of an element this particular game. 1.2k the lead for Freaka. Our 5th place team looking to hold on to it. Just to reiterate, guys, KT are not out of the playoffs race if Freaka win here today. It just becomes extraordinarily difficult for them to do anything. So they want Sandbox to try and help them out. Throw them a bone.
Yeah.
As I did get some information, by the way.
Yeah.
About whether or if KT get into playoffs, there are only 5 teams for this year that have championship points.
Yes.
And it just means that there isn't another game
yeah.
for the World's Gauntlet. We just won't have another team in there.
There's no 5th versus 6th.
Yep, it just won't happen. As Fate, he's going to flash. It's going to be less lane control as Summit taking a lot of damage from Kane, who has a level advantage now. Seeker's Arm Guard complete. Makes the job of the set much more difficult. He's going for a similar build to what we saw from Chovy yesterday on the set, on the top side. Going to be building towards the Blade of the Ruined King. A bit more damage from the set.
Yeah. It does mean that it's going to be a lot more skirmishy up in the top side, as both of these champs can do damage. And in the past, of course, Keen versus Summit would have been a massive highlight matchup. I'm going to have to hold that thought.
Yep. Well, the pillar's going to go down. Root not going to find the root.
It's back again.
Indeed. I think it might happen a couple of times in this game.
And yeah, I mean, Keen and Summit used to be 2 of the biggest top lane names that we had, but Summit, unfortunately, with Sandbox, began to decline a little bit here. Keen, still known for being an excellent top laner. Unfortunately, his team continuously does lose to the top 4 pretty consistently. So he's a little bit less talked about because of that, but he's still extremely strong as an individual player.
And as a carry as well, right?
Yes.
He likes to take the bull by the horns.
Yes.
And sort of go for that 1v9 play. Spirit is going to find OnFleek. Great live binding here from Ben, who's also going to be able to throw out the final spark. Spirit is going to grab that kill, I believe, with the last tick of the Subjugate. And Root's trying to keep people alive, but he just can't do it. Once again, the Volley Bear is going to fall 3-0-0 for the Trundle. It's looking like a counter pick in this game.
Spirit's angry after he got bopped by Cuz the last time.
Dude. Well, he got out-jungled tremendously in that matchup.
It was not fun for him.
No. Not happening here, though. As Depth Charge comes in, but the Dredge line is going to miss. Good double knock-up. Sandbox, they're not going to be able to fight. You can see down by a little bit of farm, but the center is actually doing a decent job up against the Caitlyn after all of the assistance that he's had in the early stages. So you can see Sandbox, you knew what their game plan was, which was to make sure that lane wasn't as awful as it could be. But it's not necessarily solved their issues further up the map, and especially in the jungle. This Trundle's just massive. I want Spirit to turn that Kindle Gem into something like a Black Cleaver and start doing damage. That's what I want. It's not going to do it.
Yeah.
And it would be a silly idea.
Let's see it.
But it would be fun.
Yeah, I think he's rushing Knight's Vow in this game. Seems as I want to see this ace in the hole. So there's a ton of damage that comes in. Ace in the hole goes around everyone, and then the last tick of the Subjugate, as you mentioned, gets the final kill. Unfortunately,
I didn't
for
see that it
Afrika.
was. I didn't see that it was the Angelina Jolie Caitlyn skin, just bending bullets. Did you watch that movie, Wanted?
No. Wanted?
James McAvoy and Angelina Jolie.
I did not see that.
Also had Morgan Freeman in it.
Wow.
It's Ben Flash.
Nice Flash.
He needed to get that ward.
That was flashy.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that he did it on Vision as well, as his team question mark pings him.
It's it's the BM play, right? It's like, hey, by the way, no flash.
Sending a message.
Pick W.
As Spirit is going to be able to clear out this ward, as we might have yet another fight. Another final spark looks really good. Loosen Singularity to slow them all up. Here as Spirit is super low, but still in amongst the fight is Keen. Now bouncing around, gets the backflip, gets the ulti, and the superplex is in, but Summit is so dead. Stunned up, destroyed. Fly grabs it with another orb, and Mystic denied his ultimate, but not denied the team fight. Absolutely. 5,000 gold to lead for Afrika.
Yeah, we were talking about how Trundle's getting all the kills. They would love to get it on their carries and all that good jazz. But then what ends up happening is he's in the middle of 3 people and they're all focusing him when he has so much tankiness, and he also has a Subjugate like fully stacked up. And he was just unkillable, essentially. They did not have the damage. All of it went into him prior, and then they were all just lined up for easy kills for the side of Afrika. That's where... Gonna get another look at it here. He's on Vision, and he just runs straight at them, subjugates. They're all trying to take him down. They just can't. It's impossible. You can't take him down.
He held onto it until really late as well, actually. As look at the King's Tribute, giving him so much health back as the champions die on the Sandbox side. Trundle could be ridiculous when teamfights snowball like that. Because if you don't kill him, then he's just never going to die, right, in a team fight. If you're going to focus him, you have to kill him. Or ignore him, which is also a fine idea.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do too much damage, so it's pretty interesting. Doesn't look like he's going Knight's Vow anymore, by the way. So we'll see what
Zeke's Harbinger.
What he eventually does get into here.
Would be pretty sick.
And looks like Shirley is available. This could be a really fast night if Afrika just do the same thing they do to all the lower level teams in the LCK, which is just stomp them 2-0. So far, this is pretty one-sided, to be perfectly honest.
It's just so sad that Afrika have never been able to do this to anyone that's on the western side of the bracket. It's like they're the bullies of the LCK, always being mean to those beneath them, but never actually able to stand up to those above. Might be able to rewrite that script if they are going to be able to head to playoffs. Their match against KT certainly going to decide that one. As good Shockwave on the fly, takes down about half his health bar. That Pillar's very frustrating, and especially with the fact that the person who cast the Pillar is massively fed. Root almost dead, as these headshots starting to hurt. Summit having to use the Haymaker just to stop the damage from Mystic from coming in. He's going to build a Zeal item second. Looks like Rapid Fire Cannon's going to be coming down, and he'll be able to add to a lot of poke in these fights. Should be the Stormrazor after that for the ultimate 3-item power spike for the Caitlyn. And those headshots really, really do start to hurt. But 3-0-4 for this Trundle. I was not expecting Spirit's Trundle, after how sad he looked when it got picked and everything. I wasn't expecting him to absolutely dominate like this, but maybe just don't ever make Spirit upset. Maybe that's the call.
Yeah, I think maybe after the last series, he's like, well, let's just go back to comfort. It's his most played. He's 5-5 on the champion, which is pretty good for their spot. As here he is again.
Traps Fate in the wall. He does have flash, so he'll get out of the way. Another Shockwave comes in. Fate with a lot of cooldown reduction already built up, so has that one available yet again. Spirit not going to be dying here today. Going back, a Shirley-empowered recall, and we'll be utilizing that relatively soon. As we see, Gunblade already done for Keen. See what item he's going to complete next. Looks like he's going to sit on the Seeker's Arm Guard and go for some sort of Blasting Wand item. It might be that Forbidden Book, as there is actually a fair bit of healing on the side of Sandbox. Can also help deny in the laning phase against Set as well, because the health regen you get from the grit is actually pretty silly. But we're no longer in the laning phase, and actually he just wants to be murdering the backline, so probably wanting to deny Piercing Darkness heals as he just assassinates Root over and over again.
Yeah, be interesting to see what he can get done as...
I was talking as if it's guaranteed that he's building a Morello. I actually don't think it's confirmed just yet. Still a chance that he goes for the Leandries. Don't worry, LS, if you are watching.
He's got to up those sales, man. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
He's got to make the sales. We've kind of just been sitting here, and it is a Ocean Soul. Afrika got the first one of the Soul, so they've got two of them stacked up, and it's going to be pretty nice, especially in an extended team fight that will most likely happen with the comp that they have. Certainly can get a lot of value out of that. I think they would have liked Infernal, but Infernal decided to take a nap this time around and not show its face. And we're just getting the slow, methodical push of all the outer turrets here. The mid one getting really low, the top one did go down, as did bot. And we're kind of just farming.
Yeah, the Baron could be a consideration because Spirit can tank it for about 600 years. And then when it dies, he gets all of his health back, of course, because his passive's pretty balanced. 6,000 gold is still the lead here, so Sandbox will need to do something pretty amazing in order to get themselves back into this one. And it might start with a Fnatic-style gank rush.
You see that question mark ping on the minimap from Blue Team? It's right where they are.
Yeah, right? And so they're just going to throw down Shirley. They should actually deny the charge, as she's not going to lose her health bar. She just realizes, where did it go?
She woke up from a nap.
Yeah, she did. So we might be able to get it on the inner turret. Well, we will. Whether it actually continues on to take down an inhibitor turret.
Guys?
Yeah,
hello?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this might just be an inhibitor. I mean, they're going to pillar away Fate as well.
So they'll trade.
Okay.
Yep, Shirley just got a triple charge.
Great.
Okay, she's going to fall eventually. So now, with an inhibitor down, this is something that we talk about a lot, is that if you take an inhibitor too early, 23 minutes, pretty early to take an inhibitor, then your opponent can just endlessly freeze the wave, and you basically lose out on an entire minion wave worth of money over and over again. The problem that Sandbox have is that it's mid lane, and now all of the pressure, like often when you're about to fight around a Baron, you clear out mid lane first. Well, that's become so much harder. And also, getting to the mid lane is so much more dangerous. So now, Afrika might be able to wake up from the lull state and grab themselves some control around the Baron and just start that one off. As OnFleek says no. He's just looking to try and clear out some vision.
Yeah. They're definitely going to have a nice amount of map control from here on out as the Knight's Vow does eventually complete. He was just going on a little bit of a detour, picking up that ice armor. Forget the name of that one, but I always just call it ice armor.
The Glacial Shroud?
Yeah, the Glacial Shroud.
There you go.
It's like an icy armor piece. You know?
It is.
It's like a shield.
It's like a little icy shield.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. Don't worry.
And this is what they're going to go for. We'll see if they go and try to look for some picks, as we do see Spirit pretty far in here. They're not really grouped for Baron.
Yeah, Sky Strike do a fair bit of damage, actually, onto Spirit there. Shockwave lands onto Fly. He flashes away. There's the depth charge, and the Dawning Shadow does a fair bit of work. Keen trying to cause a ruckus as Summit takes the majority of his health bar as he teleports in. Absolutely not what you want is now Mystic. He's going to grab that kill and look for more. Gorilla trying to get out of here now. As Sandbox, they went for the Hail Mary. Unfortunately, Set was on a bit of a different wavelength.
Yeah, Summit does look a little bit uncomfortable in this game, as when you teleport onto one spot, you're definitely going to get trapped if the Caitlyn is right there, and they were just able to get a massive headshot and amazing follow-up after that. So immediately the top laner is gone for 20 seconds more, and we're just going to go on the push here. Don't even need the Baron. Just going to look to stack up some more money and take some of those free outer and inner turrets.
Yep, Spirit over here getting a whole bunch of his health back, as I believe he's going for Frozen Heart next. I'd like that. Don't mind it at all. Mystic starting to do so much damage. It's going to be double Zeal. We'll see which one he's going to build next. Likely to be the Phantom Dancer, which does just add that much more tankiness and safety. It's very close to being a 3-man Shockwave, honestly, and would have been really, really powerful out of Fate, but the sidesteps were good from Ben and from Fly. And from Spirit, sorry. And yeah, just off in another universe.
The rest of his team was already backing, but the back started like right after he channeled his teleport, so the timing was just really unfortunate for Sandbox.
I got baited as well. Mystic did go for the classic Storm Razor, so I like that a lot more.
There you go.
When you've got a crit cloak and a dagger, it's just, you know, that builds into a Zeal. Come on, man.
It does. Well,
I got baited.
They're now they're thinking about taking the Baron, it seems. They're all kind of grouping up forward here. They're going to let Keen side push. Actually, no, he might want to just wrap around here and go for the team fight in mid instead.
Yep, they want some kills by the looks. As yeah, like you were saying, Keen in for the flank. He's going to get Chilling Smited. It's going to stop him from getting too easily into the back line. Sandbox, they just form the phalanx and do pressure a Freaker out. Mystic looking for some minions. Sandbox, they want, it looks like they're hungry for a fight, especially with Keen, no teleport on the bottom side of the map. Sandbox, they want to try and force. In goes On Fleek, the dive on forward is Fly. Just deceptively tanky, great Shockwave, however. And that's going to be a very dead Syndra. And the Trundle falls down as well. I mean, Afrika should have known that that was going to happen because Keen was nowhere to be seen. And never mind, Sandbox, they force the fight and they force it really nicely.
They forced the fight, and Afrika kind of did both things. They were split pushing and also trying to fight 4v5, which is definitely a bit of a mistake, as, wow, that was a nice finding onto Gorilla, who looks like he should go down here.
Yep, Mystic gonna grab that kill. Don't know whether Keen necessarily needed to ulti, but he just wanted to get to that minion wave to watch Mystic last hit it. That must have been the aim. Keen might be building for a third item Void Staff, like the savant that he is.
Whoa.
But that could also be Leandri's or Morello, or a lot of different items. But I'd like third item Void Stuff, especially against the Spirit Visage Volley Bear and a Banshee's Veil Merc Treads Orianna.
Insane amount of magic.
Everyone has magic.
Everybody's stacking it up. Hex Drinker, it's definitely the right item to go for. I think you could go Leandri's after that, because there is also a healthy amount of health stacking on top of that. As Sandbox say, how about this trade, guys? We take Ocean Drake and you get Baron. How does that sound?
And I think Afrika is saying that sounds all right. However, this Baron is not going down super quickly. Ben throwing a Loosen Singularity in just to try and get some vision. An orb in there as well, as Afrika will be able to confirm this. Final Spark comes down looking to clear a minion wave, but it's not going to stop the tower from being taken. So, yeah, what do you think? Soul point for Baron. Who wins? Bell down.
Yeah. Baron, 100%.
Oh, it's a Zeke's Harbinger. That's cool. He decided to go for that one instead of something like a Frozen Heart. I actually don't mind Frozen Heart on Trundle. That's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're ahead,
although
maybe you
Frozen
could
Heart
go.
Nothing. There's team comp, so
yeah. The Baron is definitely going to be nice for Afrika here from ahead. They're going to be able to get so much pushing power. But if you're ahead, you could potentially try to roll both, right? Like try to force a fight at the Ocean Drake and then just maneuver over to the Baron after you most likely win it. But Sandbox from behind were like, we have to make a trade potentially. We're not comfortable to go 5v5. So instead of fighting, we'll just try to hold off the push and get closer, because maybe they can 50-50 in Ocean Soul.
Ooh, behind.
And then try to win from there. But we'll have to wait and see if it even gets there. It's still 3.5 minutes, and they still have a massive Baron push coming towards their base.
Spirit going to be a second support here for Mystic. As Root, oh no, caught out. Great pillar positioning, gets a free flash. As inner turret falls for free. Just not enough map control here for Sandbox. We're getting bled out, 8,000 gold now. The total of the gold lead. As Keen splitting in the mid lane. To Sandbox's credit, they did control the bottom minion wave, and that is a long way away. And not somewhere that's going to be pressured. However, Afrika, with their Caitlyn in position, the siege machine is eliminating these turrets very, very quickly. There is nothing that they can do about this one. Some vision available inside their own base, but unfortunately they're just watching Afrika take their stuff.
Okay. You see how much damage Fate just took with one shot?
Headshots do so much damage now.
Yeah, and it's got insane range once you get the...
Yeah, if you like someone steps in a trap, it's like, hello, I'm old Aphelios.
It's pretty ridiculous what you can pull off.
Well, Shockwave lands onto one, but it's Spirit, and he's actually pretty happy to tank, as he is going to be pulled back, and so they do manage to burst down the Trundle. And now Afrika look a little bit silly. They don't have their front line. They are just going to have to back away, but they do get 2 inhibitors, so the pressure is most certainly on. As you can see, based on the fact that that inhibitor went down very, very early, the Orianna has a lot of farm, like a lot. Same can be said for Mystic, but he's starting to do some work, and Orianna, pretty good late scaling champion.
Yeah.
Would have loved to hit more than just Spirit with this, but targeting him down and bursting him is a way that you can deal with this Afrika comp.
Fate has been really on point with his Orianna today. He's hit many different shockwaves. We haven't talked about it too much just because they were kind of the team that was behind and it wasn't really game-changing enough, but there were a couple that really secured a couple of kills for their team and are keeping them in this one. And as you mentioned, he's incredibly farmed up. He has no penetration right now, like
Void
0.
Staff will be next, and that's when he'll be doing some pretty legit.
We were talking about Void Staffs, and notice that Keen did go for the Morelos instead. Now, he's up against Senna Volibear, which is quite, you know, that's a lot of healing, but at the same time, he's going up against such a ridiculous amount of MR that I'm not sure this is the right choice. Maybe he'll go for Void Staff as well. Maybe you get Morelos and Void Staff, which in that case, I mean, okay. You try to take away the healing first, and then you try to, you know, shred a lot of their resistances later, which is Keen's choice. But we'll see if he does end up going down that path of the Void Staff on top of it. Fly, on the other hand, to get the Void Staff third and is now going for the Rabadons. And once that gets completed, even though he's not so great against tanks, such as like Volibear and Set, will be very good against the rest of the team.
And should be able to land some stuns as well. We'll see whether the Unleashed Power is going to work out. Set towards the top side, just trying to keep things in order as Mystic's caught out of position. He flashes though, and the Redemption is going to be in massive heal as Gorilla is going to get chunked to high heaven. In goes Keen, like you're talking about, on fleek, getting chunked out. Mystic is just massive. Ace in the hole comes forward, but he doesn't have enough damage to kill the big tanky bear. But Afrika will still be able to win the fight.
Yeah, and Set was nowhere to be seen. Looks like he was dealing with a top wave of minions. Now comes into mid, but it's a little bit too little too late with Gorilla down 5v4. And Afrika are looking to end this game.
Yeah, not a lot of buttons available either. It's just a showstopper here. Summit will have to be an absolute hero if they want to keep this game going. Ocean Drake is alive. If Sandbox managed to win a miraculous fight, that means Ocean Soul and maybe a turnaround, but it's just looking so difficult. And Afrika, they don't even want to give them the chance. They're just going to back away, take themselves the Ocean Drake, and go for a reset. Hopefully win the game with 3 inhibitors down. It's a stinky.
Yeah, the Trundle pillar is really nice in that little spot, if you guys did not know.
Good old Pillar of Filth.
Yes.
You'd read the
It's
icon,
filthy.
it'll say Pillar of Ice, but that's not what this one is. This is traditional Trundle.
And they're going to deny the Ocean Soul, and we are going to be on point for both of these teams. But we have an immense amount of pressure on the base right now of Sandbox. As we see how this one opens up, the pillar is going to be nice. Another pretty great shockwave, but Mystic is able to get out of it. Redemption is just going to heal everybody to full. And once that happens, they don't have the follow-up on their engage. Afrika's comp from ahead especially is going to be really good at kiting them down and then pushing back. And that's exactly what they did. They took out Gorilla as he had no escape after the engage. and eventually just went on to chunk the other's health bars and push in and take another inhibitor.
Keen now with Zhonya's and stopwatch. His time in the backline is going to be pretty fun. By the looks of things, 8,000 gold the lead here for Afrika. 4 minutes until the Ocean Drake, but I don't know whether there's going to be 4 minutes left in this game. Because it has gone, you know, a fair distance. 35 minutes. 35 minutes used to be the old time where WE would start winning. And Afrika have 3 ex-WE players.
Yeah. Well,
So
35 minutes used to be the time where people actually started fighting in the LCK.
Yeah.
Remember, like 2017,
I mean,
18?
right now it feels like 35 minutes used to be a time that used to exist in the LCK
Yeah.
and no longer does. As this inhibitor is going to rebuild itself. They had the technology after all.
Oh, another one.
Oh, Jonah Strong, just he must be bored watching these inhibitors rebuild. He's going to have to wait 2.5 minutes for the next one though. As shout out to Spo TV, being the inhibitor timer inventors.
Yeah. Didn't they also have like a scuttle crab counter?
Yeah, they did. They did. I was jealous.
Never got
of
that
the
one back.
Scuttle Crab counter.
We should get the scuttle crab counter.
I think that was back when Scuttle Crab was extraordinarily valuable, as Gorilla gets chunked completely. That's a command protect though, so there's a fair bit of shielding here. But double inhibitors are going to be taken down. Sandbox really needs to pull the trigger. There is half a Nexus turret that's between Afrika and winning this game. And I guess 5 members of Sandbox as well, but they need to find the team fight. Look at Fate. If he can manage to do it, if he can find the Shockwave, maybe there's an opportunity as Keen goes into his shroud. Remember, double stopwatch as well. 2-man Shockwave. Ben's going to be taken down first, but Spirit is just massive. Keen showstopping into the backline, but he's just able to move around and kill everyone. Summit going to be killed on his fountain by the looks of things. Not enough shields as Mystic. That's a big old headshot. Triple kill for the Caitlyn. 16-5 the kill score as Afrika do walk away with